This episode is sponsored by Graham's Windows and Doors at grahamswindowsanddoors.co.uk, Yeovil's finest purveyor of windows, doors and conservatories. Get on over to grahamswindowsanddoors.co.uk. It's a brilliant family-run business in Yeovil. The reviews speak for themselves. That's grahamswindowsanddoors.co.uk. Now, on with the show.
And for me, the Lib Dems, the key value with the Lib Dems is community. And for me, my community matters.
Hiya, you're right. Hi, everyone.
Hello and welcome to the Steve Calis Show. I'm Steve Calis. My hometown, Yeovil, has a new MP, and his name is Adam Dance. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Adam, I thought I'd re-release the episode we recorded with him a few months ago. I wanted to meet Adam because I had a good feeling about him, and I wanted to know what made him tick. What was he passionate about? Why did he get into politics in the first place? The full extended version of this episode is available on YouTube and Spotify. This is a more condensed version that gives you a real sense of who he is and what he wants to do. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please click follow. If you're watching on YouTube, please click subscribe. Plenty more Yeovil-based content to come. So, without any further ado, I give you Adam Dance.
So for me, the reason I got into politics is a bit different than the normal politician. So I was just a normal boy at school. I had dyslexia and ADHD, and I really struggled at school. And I got off the school bus once, and I was beaten up. And for me, I didn't want to go home to my dad, who was a lot older than my mum, and say, "Look, Dad, I've been beaten up," because I didn't want to make him feel embarrassed that I didn't defend myself. But that wasn't who I was. Sure. So I go to the local youth centre, who supported me. Now, I really got involved in politics then because I came into the youth centre a couple of days later, and my youth worker was in tears. I said, "What's wrong, Lou?" And she said, "Oh, we've been cut." So the youth provision in Somerset was run by Somerset County Council at the time, which was under the Conservative administration. And they did a 100% cut to youth services in Somerset. Now, we all know that the youth centre attracts people who actually may need support. Now, if you get rid of that prevention service, kids go down later in life without having that support. So they might end up needing more support later on. So I started a campaign. There was also a youth centre in Yeovil called Morley House. And there was a disabled youth group there, which I volunteered to support. And I had to tell the children there, "You can't come back next week." And that really affected me because I'd seen the way this place was a hub for them, a place they could get support, a place they could feel real and normal and not be discriminated by anyone. So I started a campaign when I was 17, 18 to try and get the youth centre saved in the area, and we managed to get Morley House saved for a further year, but unfortunately it was then cut a year later. And I got involved in politics because Paddy Ashdown and David Laws, who were the MPs beforehand, and David Laws at the time, contacted me after seeing me on ITV News and said, "Look, we've seen your campaign, can we help you at all?" And for me, that was a big thing. And I said to Mum, tell me more about politics. What's Lib Dem? What's Conservative? What's Labour? Because I was just a boy, really naive. So I spent hours and hours and hours, and for someone who's dyslexic, it was quite hard, reading up on all the political parties, all the policies, because I thought, I'm not jumping into one group if I don't know enough about them. And for me, the Lib Dems, the key value with the Lib Dems is community. And for me, my community matters. So I joined the Lib Dems, and then that's when my story started, really. I was elected to the parish council in South Peverton. I became chair at the age of 19, and I raised the council tax locally, which some people you may have thought were against, but everyone was supportive, to get a youth club back in my hometown village.
Oh, I see.
Nice. And we now have a fully funded youth club in South Peverton, which is funded by the community, not the council, because it was cut. And that's really what got me motivated to try and support people.
whether or not people gravitate towards you depends, I suppose, on your personality, but also on the things that you hope to achieve. So what is that? What now, the position you're in now, from here onwards, what is it that you want to achieve and do in your time?
I want to be the MP for Yeovil because the people of Yeovil deserve someone representing them who's going to work hard for the constituency. I love this place. I've born here, I live here, my family live here, my friends are here. We see so much negativity about the town on social media. I sometimes call it bookache. But at the end of the day, it's our home. And surely we should be striving to make it the best place we can. Yeah. So for me, I want to be the MP for Yeovil to shout for us. Because, for example, I'm a hospital governor. We were one of the only hospitals not to get any of the extra government funding a few months ago. Now, we should be shouting about that. We need the support here. We need to lower business rates in the town, for example. When I'm out door to door, people say about Yeovil Refresh and the town, and they say, we need to get more shops. The council run business rates. They don't realise the government set business rates. The council collect them. They don't set them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I would push in government that business rates should be lowered and made fairer. For example, Amazon don't pay business rates. Someone selling stuff at their house doesn't pay business rates. Yeah. We've got some wonderful little shops in town which struggle because the business rates are too high, and we need to make them fairer. Yeah. So that's my one priority. Yeah. My second priority is the NHS. So you said earlier on you had a child. I'm not sure at the moment if you've managed to get your child an NHS dentist.
No, so it's so difficult, and it's not like it's just. And with Leo, he was in and out of hospital for a long time with this real bad tonsillitis. And stuff.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you, and that was difficult enough. And then, essentially, what you got to do, if I could talk to myself in the past, I would get him signed up for an NHS dentist about the minute after we conceived him.
Yeah.
I mean? otherwise it's really difficult. So yeah, I'm worried. It's pain in the ass. That
it is, and the problem with it is everyone's blaming the dentist, but it's not their fault. So the way it's set up, the dentists are paid for anyone who goes and sees them NHS. They're now paid so little. We've seen COVID and the pandemic, and at the end of the day, electricity bills have gone through the roof. Dentists just can't afford to see anyone privately anymore. So we need to make sure that we put more funding into the dentistry, especially children dentistry, because, as you said, if you can't get your lad to see a dentist, what's his teeth going to be like in 5, 6, 7 years? So that's another priority, is the NHS, the dentist, but also GPs. We should have a right to see a GP within 7 days. I met a resident the other day, 6 weeks till she could get a GP appointment. Yeah. And it's just not right anymore. The rich are getting richer, they can go private. Not everyone can do that. I see the dentist, but I can afford to go privately. But if I had a child, I couldn't afford to pay for them as well. So it's real hard times at the moment. And let's not forget the cost of living. I don't believe that some of the MPs in government have a clue what the cost of living's about. Someone said to me on the door the other day, well, of course, you're a politician. At the end of the day, you don't need to worry about hard times. I was on EMA when I was at school, when I was at college, I had free school meals at school. But I was embarrassed at times to use it because my card was different than everyone else's. And as I said earlier on, I was bullied. So if I wanted to go and show my card, people would know that I was on free school meals. Well, that shouldn't be the case. Everyone should be treated exactly the same. One of our policies is that free school meals should be for everyone at primary level, because at the end of the day, you can't learn if you have an empty belly. So for me, it's making sure we give our children the best start in life. So that's what I mean. We need to make sure we have someone representing us who understands what these issues are and suffered it. My mum, she's only having a new roof this month. She's waited 5 years till she could afford it. She had a bucket at the bottom of the bed collecting some water when the wind blew in a certain direction. So I'm not a normal politician. I'm someone who cares about the area and cares about the constituency. And a vote for me is a vote for Yeovil, bringing it back on the map and supporting our residents.
Hiya, you're right. Hi, everyone.